Yeah, Mataji, please ask.
Prabhuji, this is actually a question from my father. So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 5:24 3. Um, so there it is mentioned that Rahu cannot stay in front of the sun or moon for more than a muhurta, which is 48 minutes. So then, why is it that like the eclipses last like 2.5 to 3 hours? Uh, so how to understand this verse?
Mataji, when it says cannot stay in front of sun, means completely covering the sun. So you see the full solar or lunar eclipse doesn't last for more than a muhurta, for 48 minutes. So you see the complete covering of sun or moon, that will be only possible for 48 minutes, not more than that.
So the total time is like how the Rahu enters and comes out.
Yeah. So partially, when Rahu starts covering the sun, beginning from that eclipse is considered, but completely covering the sun or moon is only possible for one muhurta, not more than that. So the sun and Rahu moving together, completely keeping the sun covered, that's not possible more than for a muhurta or 48 minutes.
Okay, got it, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, sorry, I was just wondering, I don't know if I can ask in between, but it is related to what Mataji asked.
Yeah, Mataji, go ahead.
So I was thinking, is that the timeline the higher planetary system timeline? Because Rahu is still higher than us, right? So is the timeline earthly timeline?
No,
The 48?
When Bhagavatam is giving a timeline, it's giving the earthly timelines. Otherwise, it will mention the celestial moments or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Prangopika Mataji, please ask your question now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranams. So, Prabhuji, in today's Vaishnava etiquette, avoiding non-devotees. So, Prabhuji, actually, if non-devotees means those who are not in Krishna consciousness.
That's right, Mataji. Those who are not
Okay.
Krishna devotees, they are called non-devotees.
Okay, Prabhuji. So, like if they want to know the Krishna consciousness, so everyone have their in subconscious mind some conscious, right? So if they come closer to devotees, then only they will come to know. And if because we are giving preaching, right, Prabhu? Actually, ISKCON preaching, right? So, and if I don't go to them, how do they know that? How do they know?
Yes. Therefore, Bhagavatam gives guideline that devotee generally has different relationships with different kinds of people. So those who are innocent and willing to receive Krishna consciousness, you don't take their association, but you give your association to them. So association doesn't mean physically being with the person. Association mainly means that you take the views of the person and try to put it in your life. So for example, you see somebody in your office or in your workplace says, I bought this car, such a nice car. So taking association means did you think, oh, I also want to buy this car. This is called taking association. So you are impacted by the lifestyle of the person and you want to adopt their lifestyle. That is called taking association. But giving association means no matter what the person is doing in his life, you try to give him the guidance that how to take to Krishna consciousness. What is the benefit of taking to Krishna consciousness? So even though we may physically associate with somebody, but the most important aspect of association is taking the ideas from others, how I should be living my life. That is called really association. So we can give association to innocent people, But those who are inimical towards Krishna and Krishna's devotees, we should try to avoid them. We should not take their association.
Yeah, that is what my question is, Prabhuji. Actually, because we are in nowadays we are doing book distribution and all those things, right? I saw many people, Prabhuji. So like they are asking more and more, more and more. They want to know more. They are asking more details. So it is okay, right? So saying all these things.
Yes. Definitely. If people are eager to know, you should give your association to them and spend more and more time with them if they want to hear about Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. That is what. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So we should not take their association, but if they are interested, we can talk more about that.
Yes, we can give our association to them.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Vinita Mataji, please ask your question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, yes, yeah. I want to know this means how to connect or explain about four sampradayas to new ones and who are means totally unaware of this.
How to explain them four sampradayas?
Yes, Prabhuji. Means these four sampradayas are authentic. How to tell them like that, Prabhuji?
Well, the simple example you can take is of the modern education. So if I want to be graduate in any field, say I want to be a doctor, then I have to enroll myself in a medical school, right, and medical college, which is affiliated with some university, right? If I want to become a lawyer, then I have to go to a law school, the school which is affiliated with some of the universities. So if somebody says, I am a lawyer, and you ask him from which university, did you pass, which school or university you say, and he says, school, university, what is that? I don't know that. So what do you conclude? You immediately conclude that this person is bogus. So anyone who is graduate must know what is university, what is school, which school they have graduated from. Similarly, in on the spiritual path, anyone who's trying to practice any form of spirituality must have connection with some bona fide university. And according to the scripture, there are four bona fide universities. These are four sampradayas. And all the four sampradayas, their ultimate dean is Krishna. He is the ultimate authority from whom these four sampradayas have started. So based on who received the knowledge first from Krishna, the university is named after that person. Brahma, initially in the beginning of creation, got knowledge from Krishna, so that's called Brahma Sampradaya. Similarly, Rudra, he received the knowledge from Krishna, and therefore that Sampradaya is called Rudra Sampradaya. And similarly, Shri Sampradaya and Kumar Sampradaya, where Lakshmi and Chatush Kumar, they were the people who initiated the Sampradaya after hearing from Krishna. I hope that answers your question, Madhani.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a Mataji. Please ask your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So I wanted to ask a follow-up question. Technically, we know how do eclipses happen? Like when the Earth's shadow covers the moon, there is a lunar eclipse. Similarly, when the sun is obstructed by the moon's shadows, so we are unable to see the sun, so there's a solar eclipse. So this is what is the scientific way of understanding it. So what is actually Rahu doing in this process?
So the whole idea that is being propagated in the modern science is actually wrong theory. It's not that. First and foremost, we should remember one thing: Earth is stationary; it's not revolving. So there's no question of Earth's shadow falling anywhere. Okay. So there's no question of shadow coming on moon, or moon becoming obstructed by sun. Moon is situated on much elevation than sun. Sun is situated 100,000 yojanas, that is 800,000 miles from Earth, and moon is situated 200,000 yojanas, that is 1.6 million miles from the Earth. So how moon can come in between? That's not possible. Okay. According to Bhagavatam, if you accept the Bhagavatam statement, moon obstructing the sun's path is not possible, because moon is situated in much higher elevation. Modern scientists have no ways and means to find out the existence of Rahu, either in the day or night time with any telescope, because Rahu is a dark planet. Okay. If a dark planet roaming in the sky, and much closer to Earth than the sun. So Rahu, Ketu are the dark, shadowy planets. They become visible only when they have the background of sun and moon. So when this Rahu is traversing the path of sun, then you can see the dark planet. There's no question of otherwise seeing the Rahu and Ketu. So it is because of the presence of Rahu and Ketu only that the eclipses take place. Earth is stationary, so there's no question of Earth shadowing on the moon and causing lunar eclipse. No, that is not possible.
So, Prabhuji, can you explain more about Earth not revolving and being stationary? And actually, yeah, I have heard that Bhagavatam says that sun actually revolves and not the Earth. So, can you please explain it a little bit more?
Yes, the detailed descriptions are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, and actually there is a beautiful video which is very informative, on Vedic cosmology by Danvir Goswami, and also I think a lot of devotees have now produced many videos. But that Vedic cosmology gives basic understanding of the cosmology as per the Bhagavatam. So Earth is stationary, and Earth, as we see, the round or spherical Earth in Google Earth, that is not the shape of the Earth. That is just a Photoshop effect they have created with Photoshop. It's not the satellite image of the Earth that you see from satellite. The Earth is looking round. No, there is no such image that Earth is round. Okay.
So, what is the real way it looks?
The Bhumand, Earth is actually the flat. It's like a what do you call flat region. Earth is actually a flat region, and it has the different khandas of the Bharatavarsha, which are separated from each other by this salt ocean, and karmically those places are inaccessible for each other. Prabhupada actually mentions in I think some of the conversation, he says, if somebody is interested in discovering, like the immediate Varsha after the Bharata Varsha is Kim Purusha Varsha. Okay. So if somebody wants to go to Kim Purusha Varsha, Prabhupada says somebody continues to walk on the northern direction without changing the direction, he will actually reach to Kim Purusha Varsha Loka. The demons, they always want to obstruct the information or the access to the other places, because demons generally are very much fond of conquering all the regions. So you see, therefore, the Arctic Circle, the if you go further north of Alaska, there's the Arctic Circle, all over around what they call in Earth's geography as North Pole. Okay, that whole circle is captured by mostly America and European armies. They don't allow any explorer to go beyond that. But there was one documentary, which I had read long ago. Probably you can find online also now. It was a paper. It was not a video, but it was a paper where some explorer went actually on a ship navigating beyond the Arctic Circle, and they reached a land. The person actually reached the land where he saw the people were much, much more taller. Their height was 12 to 15 feet, and they were actually warm and welcoming. The fruit trees were, they were saying that grape was the size of a coconut. Each grape was the size of coconut. And the whole warm region in the northern direction, after you cross the icy regions of Arctic Circle, he actually reached the land which was actually warm, filled with a lot of vegetation and such. And the people there were much more taller and beautiful and very welcoming. So he went to that region and came back from there. So they're saying the North Pole is complete ice, and there is no life there. That is not true. Karmically, it's not possible for everyone to reach that region. This person had their karma, so he could go and come back. And he wrote a whole paper, but that won't be published because, not everyone can access that region, and therefore it may not have the possibility to validate.
So, what the picture of the Earth as we know, they say that it is being taken from the moon, and Prabhupada says that it is not possible for by mechanical means to reach moon. So that means they are on some other thing which they call it as moon, and they took a picture of something else. What exactly we can understand?
The first and foremost thing is, Prabhupada was very emphatic that they never went to moon. So no human being from Earth in their present body can go to moon. So when they say that they went to moon, that is first of all not possible. That's a bluff. Prabhupada would say clearly that was a bluff, and which I think most of major chunk of population of US also believe now. That time, of course, they couldn't accept, but now most of the major chunk of American population believe that they never went to moon. Because the distance between the moon and the Earth is 1.6 million miles, which they say they covered in few days. And whatever, mechanism they have, within few days to cover 1.6 million miles is not possible.
So the entire expedition was bogus, or they reached somewhere else and they portrayed that they are on the moon?
So actually on this, Prabhupada made a nice comment. So in those days, when they had actually moon expedition, the clarification was coming from the politicians, in America especially. This is not fake. This is not has been filmed in Arizona. Nobody asked them, but this was the clarification they were giving. So Prabhupada said, this is like chor ki dadi mein tinka. If a person is thief, and you don't ask any clarification in that direction, but they'll say, no, this is not filmed in Arizona. That means they filmed this somewhere in Arizona.
And Prabhuji, where can I read more about all this, the sun being revolving and Earth stationary? Which canto of Bhagavatam? And
5th canto of Bhagavatam gives this information. And if you have interest, you can also start with Dhanvir Maharaj's video on Vedic cosmology. That will actually help a lot to begin with. But 5th canto of Bhagavatam is the place. And not only 5th canto of Bhagavatam, but the information is very much spread in different Puranas as well. So especially Mahabharata gives a lot of information on this cosmology, as well as the other Puranas.
thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Actually, GV runs one course, Prabhuji, for 1 year on Vedic cosmology. I think I saw some days back. It's a whole 1 year course.
Maybe when this pandemic goes away, Mataji, you can go to EcoV and take that course.
You
It's
can do it
online
online.
course.
You can do
Online,
it
yeah.
online, Prabhu.
You can actually start taking if you have interest.
Yeah, there
on
are 45 videos by Prabhuneswar Prabhu from VAV.
Prabhu, I have a follow-up on this question.
Prabhu,
Just a minute. Just a minute, Prabhuji.
So
Yep.
Sukeshli, somebody can post the information on that post on the chat group, on our group.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhu, did you ask me?
I say, Sachin Hari Prabhu or Sukesh Madhavan, whoever has information on that course, they can post
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the chat.
Prabhu, you can post, and I have those 45 videos recorded, so I can post that too.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. I will post that course link, Prabhuji. And Tamila Mataji also want a video from Danvir Maharaj. So the cosmology video. So Prabhuji, if you have that link, then
yeah, sure.
Post that. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I think any follow-up questions? I think we can.
Prabhu, I have one follow-up question.
Go ahead,
Prabhu. Prabhu, so the distance to moon calculations are like a very
That's actually another topic, Prabhu. I understand what you're asking. So the angular distance will be actually much more than 1.6 million. Okay, we are talking about the distance from the Bhumandala, plane of Bhumandala, to the moon is 1.6 million, and the distance to sun is 800 miles, 800,000 miles. Okay, so that's a straight distance from Bhumandala, where we are situated in this location, in the Jambu Dvipa, which is actually more closer to the center of the universe. And remembering that sun is situated, on the Pushkara Dvipa, it's actually revolves on top of Pushkara Dvipa. So angular distance will be actually much more than 1.6 million. And even distance from sun would be more than 800,000 miles.
And also it depends on the time, right? In different months, different days is in different orbits. So the angular distance is...
Yes, the angular distance will also change. And that's how Prabhupada said, that's how the seasons takes place. The distance of the sun traveling northern and southern direction causes the different seasons.
So technically speaking, no one can land on moon if they are changing their direction. So if we
That's true. Because sun and moon are both revolving continuously.
if they go in one direction.
Prabhupada said that we probably reached Rahu or Ketu, right?
And that was just Prabhupada's opinion. Prabhupada sometime, to pacify when people say, no, they actually went. They might have gone to Rahu or some other planet, but they definitely didn't go to moon.
Yeah, because that's probably the closest planet to us.
Yeah, but even Rahu is not, dull planet. It also has life. The demons, it's a demoniac planet. So it's a dark planet, but there is also life on that. There's no question of no life on that.
Why is it called dark planet, Prabhu? Because sun will fall on the planet, right?
Even though sunlight may be there, Mataji, but demons, they are very expert. So if it's a dark planet, means they must have some mechanism or some ways to not have the sunlight. I don't know, because I've never been to Rahu, at least in this body. So I don't know.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, does Ketu, or what does Rahu do and what does Ketu do?
They both actually, cause eclipse to sun and moon at different times.
So Rahu does the solar and Ketu does the lunar eclipse?
Yes.
So they block the way. It is not the earth or the moon coming in between. It is actually Rahu or Ketu coming in between, blocking the view of the sun or moon, like that?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, Shachandan Gorang Prabhuji, you have follow-up question, right?
Question, not question, small request. Prabhuji, you said like people reaching North Pole and they have a warm people. So any link, Prabhu, like what are the keywords to search for? Or if you have any link?
Actually, I read that documentary almost, I think, 7-8 years ago. So when I was in New Vrindavan, I read that documentary. And I don't recollect now, but you can look for expedition to North, something like that.
Expedition to North Pole?
Yeah, expedition to North. And you can type maybe documentaries or research papers on expedition to North or research in the northern direction beyond Arctic Circle.
Okay. Hopefully Uncle Google did not remove that. Okay, Prabhu. I mean, this is all a lot of politics, Prabhu. Wikipedia also, like the lot of articles they. Anyway, that's the difference.
Well, therefore, Prabhupada said history, the modern history is nothing but nonsense. Prabhupada called it chronological nonsense because it's all vested interest. They will screen and do whatever they want to do. Just like Lord Krishna actually mentioned this in Mahabharata. He said if the Mahabharata war is won by Duryodhan, he will write the history that the Draupadi was actually a prostitute. If he had to write the history, he would write like that. So demons actually manipulate the history, but the sages like Vyasdev, they have no vested interest. They write the history as it is.
A lot of demoniacs are writing history in India. That's your 100% echoing like whatever.
All over the world, bro. It's all over the world. So therefore, Prabhupada was so precise in using the words. He said, modern history is chronological nonsense. It doesn't have any sense in it.
Prabhupada's words are like exactly matching with a lot of other validations I read about history. Amazing.
That is true.
Okay, I think.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. If there is no question, can I ask?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay. Prabhuji, it's not is actually a question. It's for my personal. Just I want to ask and take guidance from you that whatever I'm doing, is it considered be as a devotional service or not? So means I'm not a professional, but somehow I am stitching DT clothes, DT dresses, and of course this is the some part of source of my income as well. So this is a devotional service or not, Prabhuji?
Definitely, Madi, it is devotional service. It is the service that is done to the deities. Even if you are taking little remuneration, it is definitely service. It's a wonderful service you are doing, and just continue with that.
Okay, thank you. Actually, earlier also I asked this question to some seniors. Means I got some different feedback. Just one senior told me that it's not a service, just you are doing and they are giving you. So it's just exchange of, it's just like business only. So how can you tell this is a devotional service?
It actually
And
boils down
some
to
other
consciousness, Mataji. It boils down to consciousness. So if you are doing it only for the money, then it's just a business. But if you are
no,
thinking, if you are being conscious that, oh, their deities will look so beautiful, I have to do with to best of my ability so that the dress which comes out as a result of my endeavor will look so beautiful, and Krishna will be wearing it. If you are preparing with that consciousness, even though it's a business, but it is still considered devotional service.
yes,
Because
Prabhuji, because yes, Prabhuji, because I feel that nowadays even a kid also don't like the dress if it is long or short or loose or tight. But he's so merciful. Lord is so merciful that whatever I make, he's accept him. Means sometimes tears comes in my eyes when I see this thing, Prabhuji. that everything is accepting, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, definitely. And, although the Lord accepts anything we offer, but we shall try our best to make it best of His liking.
Yes.
So yes, it is considered service if the consciousness is that I want to, prepare this for the Lord so that Lord will look so beautiful in this dress. Of course, Lord is always beautiful, but that is the bhav of the devotee, that this dress will look really beautiful on the Lord.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that Mataji's dresses are amazing, and my home deities have been wearing Mataji's stitched clothes for several years. The night clothes or day clothes, they're just absolutely perfectly fitting, and my deities are super happy, Mataji.
That's your humility, Mataji. Devotees are more compassionate than Lord.
No, I will post some pictures. She actually made the jewelry as well, handmade jewelry, matching jewelry, and so it's just beautiful. Mataji is very talented. Yes, you all should. Whoever wants should order from Mataji.
Can you please share on the group?
Yeah, I will.
The work that you.
Yes.
No, Mataji, please.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one more question related to Rahu and Ketu. So can I go ahead and ask?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
So Prabhuji, in Vedic astrology, Rahu and Ketu are considered as Chaya Grahas. So I wanted to understand, like, what is their importance in from the astrological point of view?
Well, from astrological point of view, the Rahu and Ketu are considered the planets of passion and liberation. So Rahu is considered the planet of passion. So placement of the Rahu in a particular place in the birth chart indicates what will be the passion of the person. And Ketu indicates where the person will be, more, inclined towards, or being detached from. So what will be the person's passion? What will be the person's, detachments? Rahu indicates passion and attachments, and Ketu indicates detachments. So just to give an example, you will see most of the sannyasis, you'll find in their 7th house, which is the house of marriage, you'll find the presence of Ketu, because Ketu represents detachment. So they will be not interested in married life. No. So either Saturn or Ketu in the 7th house indicates kind of detachment from worldly life.
Okay. Prabhuji, there